Without further ado, I will get into our Module 6, Lesson 1. This week was packed with a lot of information on securing the computer, limiting access. It was just an incredible amount of material, and it was very useful, to say the least, but just a lot to try to assimilate. So we're looking at firewalls, so network protection, vulnerability scanners, App Armor. SE Linux is the one I think we set up here. And I'll go ahead and jump into the Nmap activity for this week, Lesson 1. Security Administration Task. And security is such a big issue these days that it's really a good topic to get into, especially network security. Just being at the forefront of that area and knowing what to do and how to make systems secure, how to make networks secure, is a very valuable skill. And we'll actually see here in the lab how it makes it helpful for the administration to be able to regulate who has access to what. There's a couple of screenshots here I could not see, so I went ahead and downloaded my instructions. I know I'm going to need them. And I know we're going to need, we did one on one computer and one on the other, so let me double check here before I tell you which one to turn on. Yeah, so it is PLAB Linux 01, so we'll power on that computer. And I click on the name up there, and it takes me to that computer specifically. Okay, and step 1 has us log on as administrator, but it already comes up logged in for us. You can click on the power button up here and see it's logged in as administrator. Okay, so now we're on to step 1 here, and we'll right-click and open terminal. Switch user SU dash, and then it's going to ask me for the root password, so I'm putting in PASSW0RD. Yeah, that was an uppercase P. Clear the screen. And then we want to list the properties of the write file. ls space -l /usr /bin bin /write. This indicates that this is a SUID file with our S here in the permissions group. SUID is set user ID. So the set user ID bit, when set on an application or file, refers to the owner of the application or file rather than the current user. For example, consider an application or a file whose owner is root. Now, this application or file has SUID bit set. When a normal user runs the application, it runs as root rather than as the normal user. That bit being set tells the Linux system that if an application has SUID set, then the application must run as root, not as the current user. SGID, set group ID, works in the same way, but it's applicable for groups of users. Okay, so with the SUID set, that means when I run that file, it runs as a root user. So we're going to clear the screen then and find all the SUID root files. So we'll find space / space -user space root space -perm PERM space -4000 space -print. And then we have a list of all the files where the SUID is set. And now we'll clear the screen and do the same thing for group. And what I did there was I hit the up arrow, and I'm going to change user to group. And I'm going to change this to 2000. Come on. And now I'll clear the screen. And to find all the SUID and SGID files owned by anyone, type the following. So it's find space / space -perm space -4000 -o -perm -2000 -print. So there's all the files owned by anyone where the SUID or SGID bits are set. Now we're on to task 3, manage user passwords and password aging information. This is something that's done quite commonly in network administration. So first we'll clear. I got locked out of my account. You've got to know how to reset the account and get the user back in and working. And so here we're going to set up a user with the user add command, and the username will be John. And then in step 3, we'll set the password for John. And we're going to set his password to, guess what? Uppercase PASSW0RD. And then I type it again, uppercase PASSW0RD. And apparently I typed it wrong one time. Let me try it again. Uppercase PASSW0RD. PASSW0RD. There we go. Authentication tokens updated successfully. Now we're going to modify John's account and set the expiration date for his user account. You know, it's a contract worker and they're coming in, they're only working to the end of the year. So I can set this user mod or use the user mod command to -E, set the expiration date, and then space and the date I want it to expire. And then the name of the account that I want to modify. Now, I've had cases where a employee has been dismissed and I'm called and asked to lock their account so that they can't do any other work on the account. So we'd use user mod space -L and the name of the account that we want to lock. And since we're going to need this account later and we're going to be using it, I'll hit the up arrow and change the L to an uppercase U, and that will unlock that account. And step 7, we can have the user change the password expiration information. And if we set it to 0, that means it's going to expire immediately, and the next time they log in, they'll have to change their password. You can do this if you want, but it's going to have you change the password, and then it won't let you make it anything like password again. So I did this part the first time. I'm not going to do it now because I want to keep using password as my password. Okay. Let's say we're trying to see if somebody's logged on to the system. We can do a who command, and it tells me everybody who's currently logged in. The W command shows who is logged in and what they're currently doing. Excuse me. Now we're going to clear the screen again. You can also view the recent logins done by all users, like last. And that tells you the last time everybody logged in. And type clear. Let's see. You can also view the user who logged in last so many days. Logged in. Yeah, in the past how many days? Who has logged in? So that's last logged -B 0-T 100. Okay, now we're on to task 5. Use the SU command to provide privileges. Okay, so we'll clear the screen. And reboot the system by typing the following command. Reboot. It starts to reboot. It says when it boots back up, there should be 2 users shown, but I have seen that it just comes back to the admin login, administrator login. We'll see here what it does now. Yes, it can log back in as administrator. So I'm going to click the power button over here and look under, hit the arrow next to administrator and log out. And then log out. Now I'll see administrator and John, and I can click on John. And if you didn't reset the password, then the password is still uppercase PASSW0RD. If you did reset the password, then I hope you wrote it down, because I can't tell you what it is. Okay, so this is our welcome screen. We're going to click on English. And then English US is checked. You can hit next or click on English US. And we're going to leave this page alone and hit next. It says if prompted for location access, click deny. Connect to online accounts. We're going to skip and then start using CEIS. Says we should now be on the desktop, but mine wasn't. This came up, so I'm going to have to close this window. And then right-click, Open Terminal. Is our command prompt. I'm going to type, who am I? To see my username is John. And step 13, we're going to try to run a command that would require super user privileges like root. So we're going to do a fdisk-l /dev/sda. That's D as in dog, SDA. Notice it says permission denied. All right, so we're going to go use the SU command to gain root privileges. So SU, and it asks for the password, uppercase PASSW0RD. Notice now it says root at PLAB Linux 01, user John. Now we'll try to run that same command again. And apparently it's not bringing it up. So fdisk-l /dev/sda. Oh, I got a period in there that shouldn't be in there. Okay, for some reason I'm doing something wrong now, but that worked earlier, so I'm a little confused. Oh, I'm missing the /. That's what it was. I put a dot instead of the /. There we go. Now we want to exit out of the root user. Notice it comes back to John at PLAB Linux 01. You can use the sudo command to give super user privileges. The sudo command allows the user to execute the command as a super user. However, this user needs to be listed in the sudoers file, sudoers file. All right, so we're going to clear the screen here. And actually, I'm going to pause here at task 6. If I'm not, let's go back and finish it up. If we're not close to the end. Okay, so we want to sudo root. And then we're going to put in the password, PASSW0RD. Now, if you change John's, oh, well, it won't work here anyway. John is not in the sudoers file. And again, if you change that password for John, that's the password you're looking for. Okay, so to keep him from getting reported, we're going to go add him to the sudoers file. I'll type SU and enter our password. You can see we're back at root. Okay, the sudoers file is read-only, so we have to make it writable. So chmod O plus W, that means I can open and write, /etc, and then sudoers. Now I want to go edit the file, so I'll type VI and /etc/sudoers. Now I'm in the file, and I'll hit the letter I to put me in the insert mode. All right, and then we're going to come down to user aliases, and at the bottom of that is where we're typing John all equals no password :space /bin /via. All right, come down here at the bottom. Oops. Of user aliases. And John all equals no pass WD :space /bin /via. And then I'm going to hit escape. Notice insert goes away, and now I'm going to do :WQ for write and quit. The command prompt, I'm no longer in the VI editor. Now we want to change that file back to read-only so nobody else can modify it. So chmod 440 /etc/sudoers. We'll clear the screen and exit. I'm not really sure why we have to clear the screen before exiting, but now we're back to John at PLAB Linux 01. You can use the ulimit command to manage the resources available to the shell and its processes. Managing the resources includes setting limits on your user logins, processes, memory usage. Two types of limits can be defined. You can have a hard limit set by the super user, us at this point, and cannot be superseded by the user, so that once you've hit that limit, you're done. There's a soft limit, which is also set by the super user, but it can be temporarily superseded by a user. These limits are specified in the limits.conf file. In this task, you will list and modify the limits for the user John. To manage shell resources, we'll do the following. Clear the screen and ulimit -A and we get all the limits for the current user. Now we want to see all the hard limits, so I'm going to clear and ulimit -H. And unlimited has hard limits. This one, step 3, we're going to view the limits in the limits.conf file. So we'll cat /etc/security/limits.conf. Note some limits are marked as soft and some are marked as hard. We can edit that by putting it in, by editing the file. I don't think it told me to. You can alter them by putting the file in edit mode. It didn't tell us to, but to do that, you would VI /etc/security/limits.conf and then hit I to get in the insert mode, and you can edit that file. Here they just had us view it. And different protocols run through different, might use different files and different sockets. So as data is coming in, it's going to certain places to see a list of processes that are using files and sockets. We can use well, first we'll clear, and then use the fuser space dash all to show all the files and sockets being used. To view which processes are using a particular file or directory, and this is very usable. fuser dot, and those are all the processes that are using a particular file or directory. To run the fuser command on the current directory, first I'll clear, and then fuser -v dot / tracker store bash gnome terminal. Should see a few things in there: media keys, mouse, printer, desktop, trash. Interesting. And now we're at task 8. Next, -s. Okay, good. At least that works. So we may just be able to keep going and not. Maybe it saved as rates. I don't know because we did them. Clear the screen. And then we're going to use netstat --TCP-N to show the active TCP connections. Netstat --TCP-N. And so we have servers, protocol, receive queue, send queue, local address, foreign address, state. Let's clear the screen, SU space dash, and uppercase PASSW0RD. And we're back at root. And we're going to install Nmap so that we can use it. And we use the yum install function, Nmap. And then it'll take it a couple minutes. When we get a prompt, we hit yes to confirm. And then once it's done, you'll see a message that says complete. Okay, now we're going to Nmap. .192.168.0.1. And you'll see starting Nmap. It does take a couple of minutes, and then it'll come back and shows the output ports with the protocols being used. If we want to fingerprint the system, which means getting the system information, including the operating system and version, I'm going to clear and Nmap -O space 192.168.0.1. And I am terrible at that. I am an engineer, so AMP is probably the first thing that comes to my brain when I just comes out that way. And then we're going to wait for it to finish. And yes, it's still going. Okay, so the host is up. 999 filtered ports. TCP, MAC address. One open and one closed. We could not find at least one open and one closed port. Not ideal because we're missing a closed TCP report port, so results incomplete. That's okay. Nmap done. Scanned in 35.67 seconds. Okay, so we'll clear the screen. And we can scan a subnet of computers with the Nmap command, if I spell it map. -lowercase s, uppercase P, and then the network address. .192.168.0.0 with a /24. I know I've been told that people get used to me reading off the exact text, and when I don't do it, then they have to go look at the directions. Okay, this command is scanning the whole subnet, or the whole sub-network. So it takes a minute, it's coming, there it goes. 256 IP addresses, 3 hosts up, scanned in 28.05 seconds. Okay, so we'll clear the screen. And then, now I've used this several times because sometimes you need a list of open files on the network. If you're getting ready to edit a file and you need to know if somebody's in it, or you're getting ready to move it, you may need a list of the open files. And that is our completion of performing security administration tasks. So there was a lot of stuff in there. And it didn't even cover everything that was in the lesson. So make sure you're looking through the lesson that helps prepare for your knowledge check. That